Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm pleased today to be having a chat with a fellow Lucy, Lucy Archer, who works with us at Mazuma. We actually have 3 Lucys currently working at Mazuma, so it's very confusing, but we managed to make it work. Lucy works in the operations side of the business. Lucy, tell us what you do.
I'm the operations assistant, which covers a very broad spectrum of things, dealing from clients, dealing with things internally, the logistics, and making sure the things behind the scenes that they're running smoothly so that our accountants can do what they do best.
Yeah, you're very much the glue that holds us together. I think it's fair to say.
I would say so. It covers a lot of different areas. So things like our IT support. When we started working remotely, when COVID first happened, it was making sure people had telephones and things like that. So, yeah, I think glue is probably quite a good phrase, yeah.
Brilliant. And you obviously see, so whilst the accountants will look at all the technical stuff and they'll be dealing with the accounts and tax, you see a different part of the business. You see a different kind of client interaction. So you probably fight a few fires yourself. What kind of conversations do you have with clients?
Quite a few varieties, to be honest. It can cover things such as when their monthly payment is coming out, what day of the month. And working with the client if they've got a particular cash flow issue and perhaps they've got concerns. It may be something over the technology. We try and make our technology as easy, as straightforward as possible, but we still need certain information. We're not mind readers. So it's having those conversations with our clients to say, this is what we need from you. This is what we can put in place to help you. But also this is the bit that you need to do. It's not all on us as clients. You do have to do a little bit of work yourself.
And do you think that sometimes it can be overwhelming for clients? When you start a company, you get a lot of letters from HMRC, a lot of letters from Companies House. Do you see clients being hugely overwhelmed by this?
Massively. And to some points, I feel sometimes there's a cushion that maybe the client has had all these letters, that they're fantastic at doing their job, which is why they've become a limited company. It's great, that's their forte. But then it comes to the accounts and the legalities of things. And you mentioned phrases like HMRC, VAT and Companies House. And all of a sudden it's a rabbit in headlights.
Yeah.
And very much it can feel like there may be just one thing that a client is really concerned about. So I'll be having that phone call with them. And that conversation then turns into something else, which then turns into something else, and it becomes a snowball. And the client is thinking, this seems like such a great idea, having my own business, because I know I'm good at this, but all these legalities and technicalities is stopping me from enjoying it.
Yeah.
So having that interaction with the client and almost hand-holding and saying, look, this is fine, it's normal for you to feel like this. This is what we can do though. And almost telling the client, which sounds quite assertive and quite bossy, but I think as responsible accountants and as a team as a whole, that's what we need to do. Mm-hmm. You want somebody to say, this is what you have to do, this is what you need to give to us, and we will do the rest.
Yeah, and I think actually, you said words like assertive and bossy, and I don't think you're assertive or bossy at all. Well, maybe you're a bit with me, but not with our clients anyway. but I think that it can be a massive weight off our clients' shoulders, just knowing that someone can take charge of that stuff. Like you say, most people start their own businesses because they're great at what they do, or they've had a brilliant idea, and you're supposed to enjoy running your business. Yes, you're going to have times where it's stressful, but ultimately it's supposed to be fun, and you're supposed to enjoy that kind of experience. And a lot of this kind of accounts and tax can leave you really bogged down. I think that with the world, I spoke to Danielle about this on another video. If you've not watched it, go and see it. But I spoke to Danielle about this, about how in the world today, I think that people are concerned about interest rates, people are concerned about cost of living, fuel bills. They can be tempted to try and cut corners, and really, given the sorts of conversations you have with clients, do you think that this is something they should be handling themselves, or do you think this is best left to professionals?
Absolutely left to professionals.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Yeah. It really is, because I'm going to use an analogy which actually came up with some friends of mine. We were talking about doing our own personal care, eyebrows, things, and what have you. And my viewpoint on it was, I'm not qualified. I would rather pay somebody else to look after certain parts of my body. Why risk it myself? The horror stories you hear of somebody with waxing, for example.
Wax in the wrong place is not a good thing.
Exactly. And then having to go and pay extra to have it fixed anyway. It's a false economy. Now, waxing and accounts might seem extreme, but the principle is the same. I'm not a mechanic. I pay a mechanic to look after my car.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you treat your accounts, which are your your main source of income, why wouldn't you pay somebody for that?
Yeah.
And that's kind of depending on the clients that I'm speaking to. If some clients are saying, look, we've had a really hard time, we're looking at saving costs, you're going to be one of the first to go. And that's got to be a tremendous conversation for a client to even say that to us in the first place. So, great that they've got that trust with us. And it's then working with them to say, okay, let's have a look at what we can do. Because actually, by spending a bit on us each month, it's going to save you money.
Yeah.
It's going to save, and let's be honest, it'll save the sleepless nights.
Yep.
And that is...
Yeah, you really can't put a price on a good night's sleep. And again, running a business, I'm a big believer in, I don't know if anyone's ever read one of Dan Sullivan's books, Who Not How, is that when you run a business, you're quite often faced with, well, how am I going to solve this problem? Instead, you should be thinking, who's going to solve this problem for me? And that's what we do at Mazuma, is we solve those problems for clients. So yeah, that's great to hear. Lucy, this has been brilliant. I just wanted a quick chat with you. These are nice little bite-sized pieces. So thank you so much for allowing me to interrupt your busy day, and I will leave you get back things. So yeah, thanks for having a quick chat, Lucy.
No problem at all. Thanks, Lucy.
Thanks.